Good evening. I'm your girl, Atia Goldsmith from Stop Corporate Shenanigans, and I want to welcome you to an edition of Corporate Chit Chat. Today, I have with me a colleague of mine, Curtis Jenkins. Let's welcome him. So first, I just want to ask you, tell me a little bit about yourself, a couple of the positions that you have held, and what industries you have worked in.
Okay, a little bit about myself. I can answer that question a long way, but I think you want to hear more about my career, right? Okay, so I would say at the core of who I am is a project manager.
Okay.
Even though I've held many positions in leadership when it comes to executing projects, leading other project managers, and or leveraging overall corporate strategy with projects.
Okay.
So those are a few of the positions that I've held.
In what industries?
Primarily in the telecommunications industry. I've been in the manufacturing industry, which I'm in right now, especially chemicals, and financial service industries.
So, in order for you to get there, did you have a mentor that helped you get there?
Yes, I would say I had mentors throughout my life. So, my cousin Joan, who's not here, but her offspring are here. When I was 24 years old, we had what's called a QCR program, a Qualified Community Resident Program in North Philadelphia. And it was Bell Atlantic, and there were about 2,000 people that took a test. I was one of 6 people that passed the test.
Wow.
And it was the community, the politicians in the community said, hey, Bell, if you're going to have a data center on our Temple campus, you're going to hire our residents. And so my cousin Joan was my first mentor, who helped me with that. Now, she wasn't my first ever mentor,
Right.
but I would say that was my foray into the corporate world.
So, the reason why we're here is because of your book signing. So, tell me why you decided to write this book. And of course, I'm surprised you don't have a copy up here, but we'll go here for the only job search book you ever need. Why did you decide, after all this time of being an executive and in a corporate space, to write a book?
Okay, so the stories have been being written for a long time.
Okay.
And I lost my job in 2002. It was the most devastating event I've ever had. And so I don't ever want to feel that again. What I realize is that there are more people that depend on me than I realize, whether it's my immediate family or outside of that. And so what I've done is put together a body of work to help myself to be in a situation where I don't have that feeling anymore. I'm not afraid to get laid off.
Right.
I'm just afraid of the feeling of being lost after it happens. And so what made me write the actual book itself was a friend of mine was about to lay off a division of people because he's in corporate mergers and acquisitions. And he's seen me help his family and other friends, people across the country, with what I do, what I talk about in the book. And he said, bring me your materials so that I can share this with this division of people. And I realized I did not have one place where it was all collected.
Wow.
So once I put it all together, that's when it occurred to me, I have something here. I have a book. And so I put it together.
So there may be people who are transitioning, such as myself. Maybe we're in our second career,
Yep.
Or someone who has recently graduated. Is this book for all types of people or a specific type of person?
Now, this book is for anybody who's looking for anything that they want. It doesn't mean just a job.
Right.
This book is about taking actions.
Okay.
This book is about making sure that when you take those actions, you boost your confidence. This book talks about how you market yourself as a product. The same science that you use to market products in a supermarket. You want to be the best. You want to sell yourself at the highest value. And then I talk about a key component of the book too, and that's volunteering and helping people.
Okay.
So this book is for everybody. If you want to start a new business, it's for you. If you just got out of school, it's for you. If you just got laid off or been laid off for years, it's for you. If you're in your career right now and you want to move up, it's for you.
So can you give us just 1 or 2 points? We want everybody to buy the book, so we don't want to give too much away. So
Right.
can you just provide 1 or 2 points, key takeaways from your book?
Key takeaways. I would say the first one I talked about before was around the confidence. You have to, so how did I develop my confidence? When I first got laid off, I was shaken. But then I got over that mourning period and I just started doing things. And I wasn't afraid to fail up. I just kept trying and kept trying and kept trying. And what I was doing was building a body of work with tried and failed, and then I took all the true things and put them together. So you can't stop. You got to keep going, right? And when you keep going, you have to build, it builds your confidence. You just get stronger. But the other part to the equation is your competence. What are you selling? What are you good at? And so a lot of times, take a child, for example. A child goes to school and he's great at math and he's bad at French. What do? We get a French tutor, right? What we should be doing is getting a better math tutor, making that math thing, making him stronger in what he gravitates towards. So I would say take your very best of who you are and continue to make that the best thing that you are, and that's what's going to raise your value, not making yourself mediocre because you're trying to do a whole bunch of things that just doesn't fit who you are.
Wow. So have you experienced your dream role yet? And if so, did the tips in the book allow you to get that dream role? And if not, if you are still aspiring to get that role, will the tips in your book help you get there?
So the answer to the question, will the tips in the book help me get there, is yes. It's a loaded question when you say my dream role, and here's the reason why. You ever do something like write a book and you publish it and you hit that button and nothing happened? A lot of times once you reach your goal, it's somewhat anticlimactic. I would say that I'm in my dream role right now, but I'm always going after more. And I would say even this week, I've been struggling with my current company because I want a little bit more. Ironically, I started off the week really feeling really bad about how I felt like I was being respected. And next thing you know, I get an email unsolicited, and now they're inviting me to the overall strategy meeting. So things just happen, and you just keep pushing. Now, I'll get to the point where I'm doing exactly what I want to do, making the money exactly what I want to make, and then I'll go, okay, what's next? So I'm already here.
So what about if someone uses your book to get the job that they want? What can they do in the first 3 to 6 months of employment to stand out at their new employer?
Get to know everybody. So the first thing I do, well, even before I get there, I already write a 90-day plan. And in my at my website, you can find a proposal that I wrote for the current job that I have. And I wrote down what the 90 days are going to look like. I designed that. You can design what your future looks like. Now, everything doesn't go exactly as planned, but you can make it go there somewhat. But the first thing is write down and find out who the 50 most influential people are in the company. And have lunch, breakfast, coffee, drinks, whatever. But get that 50 most influential people down and work that until it's done. And you're going to find 50 more through those people as well.
So if someone was hired to be a manager, what suggestions would you give them on how to lead an effective team?
I'll tell you how I lead an effective team. Okay, so I have 3 things that I lead my team with. And you may have heard me say this before, and that's protection, correction, and protection. Okay, so correction, you're already a professional. If you are on your way and you're making, say, a professional mistake, I'm going to help correct you. And then if you say that you want to go from here to here, I'm going to help direct you. If you manage your reputation, you manage your stakeholders, how well you do your work, and you bring your A game, and somebody comes after you, I'm going to provide protection. I'm fiercely protective of my team. I hire really smart people that I'm even slightly jealous of because they know some things that I don't know. But that's what pushes me. So I'm not afraid of people being smarter than me. In fact, I need that because the rising tide lifts all boats, right? So I would say don't push people in the wrong way. You've heard people say micromanage, right? That's a waste of time. Hire smart people, get out the way.
So of course, by you hiring a team, everybody may not get along. How do you handle conflict within your team, amongst the team members or even with you and a team member? How would you handle conflict?
So a conflict with me is handled swiftly.
And what does that mean?
So that is I'm not going to take too much conflict if it's going against the entire team. I'm not going to let a bad apple hurt the entire team. But you have conflict every day in various levels, right? People want more money. Your good people want more money because they think they're good. Your bad people want more money because they think they're good. And so you're dealing with conflict every day because, it's an employee's job to suck as much money out of the company as they can.
Right.
It's an owner's job to keep as much money in. So that's conflict right there. So, but when it's team conflict, the first thing is you guys figure it out. I will already pretty much know what's happening or how I would handle it or what I'm going to conclude on if they don't figure it out. But a lot of times I have my team figure that out because that's part of their learning and development.
Okay. So I want to ask the audience, has anyone ever left a job because of bad management? Or is it just me? I'm the only one who has left a job because of bad management?
I have.
Okay.
I
So
have.
basically that is one of the famous statements that most people leave their jobs because of bad management.
Yeah.
How have you dealt with that in the past for yourself?
Well, so I realized that I get to manage my own career. And I've had situations where I've actually asked the manager, I asked him, so I had a manager that just did not like me. And she rated me in a way that, she even changed my job. She took me from a project manager, leader to a reporter. And I was like, that's not who I am. So I asked, what happened, right? And so apparently there was a meeting where she felt like I should have just said, I don't know about a situation, but she thought that I was BSing. And maybe I don't remember whether I did or not.
Right.
It did teach me to say I don't know. But what I asked my boss was, is this something I can get over? And what I appreciated about what he said was, he said no. I said, well, thank you. And then I left.
Immediately?
Well, not immediately.
Okay. So one of the biggest initiatives right now in the workplace is regarding the pay gap. Women typically make about 30%, 20 to 30% less than men. So in your position as an executive and as a leader, do you have a say in what everybody makes, especially the women in your team?
Yes.
Okay. And how do you kind of work towards
Equality?
strengthening that pay gap? Yes.
Well, so I don't have pay gaps.
Okay.
You know what? I never even look at it like, well, this is a female, so this is what we're going to pay her. I look at what the market is for the job,
Okay.
the experience that the person has, and what my budget is.
Right.
And that's what decides, not what the gender. In fact, I have more women that report to me that actually make more money than most of the guys that report to me.
Wow. So I want to ask the audience again, has anyone ever dated a coworker? Me? I'm actually still dating my coworker right there since 1998. We are now married. But with that being said, most people are at the workplace 40, 50, 60 hours a week. So of course you may meet someone there, right? But with the Me Too movement, it makes it very difficult to even, I guess, approach someone. And so how do you feel about the Me Too movement, and have you adjusted the way that you interact with the employees in the workplace because of it?
Zero adjustments.
Okay.
See, Me Too is about power, right? And so the reason people are coming forth is because they were used in a certain way that they were trying to get somewhere, but a person with power took advantage of them. Two people that find love, I mean, you think finding a job is hard? I mean, so if people are real about the love that they have for each other, I mean, I got very good friends that I spent a lot of time with. They met each other on the job.
Okay.
At, where we worked at. So I don't think about Me Too from that perspective. Now, I do have fears. I am a man. I have some power. And so I behave in a way that makes sure that that power is not misconstrued in any way.
Okay.
And I've had situations where I wouldn't even shut the door if I had to have a certain type of conversation with a certain type of person because I just didn't want no issues.
Okay. So, I don't know if you remember this, but you and I had a conversation in the break room. And I was actually telling you how I had just met G. Garvin. I won his seasonings, and for anybody who wants to buy me a gift, I'm all out of the G. Garvin seasonings, right? Please feel free to order online for me. And of course, you were talking about how you, the master at barbecuing. I've never tasted it yet. I can't witness that. But the manager came in and she told me, she was like, I've never seen you laugh like that. Do you remember that conversation in the lunchroom?
Actually, I don't.
Okay, so we were in the break room and that happened. And the manager came to me and she was like, I never seen you laugh like that. And I got back to my desk and I was like, she's absolutely right. I have not laughed like that in here. And I realized that that job was actually sucking me dry, stealing my joy, and I immediately began creating an exit plan. So how would you advise someone to make an exit plan when it's their time to go from a company, and also do it with grace?
One of the things I talk about in my book is never having to look for a job, because everything that you do on a daily basis.
Okay.
So I'm sitting here today talking to you. I'm looking for a job. And what I mean by that is somebody out here in this audience can hear me. They know what I do. They know what I need. If I made a phone call to somebody, I would want them to be able to help me out.
Okay.
How you carry yourself, how you manage your career, that's a day-to-day thing. So you don't need an event to tell you when to start. You can use the event to then pull the trigger on all the things that you've already put in place.
Okay.
And so I would say, don't wait for an event.
Okay.
Just be ready
Okay.
at all times. So I wear a suit a lot. You know that. In fact, people at the job, if I don't have a jacket on, they're like, what's going on? But years ago, I would wear a suit because you didn't know when I was interviewing. Remember when people would walk in, they say, hey, what are you, you interviewing? Okay,
exactly.
So now you don't know. So just be ready at all times.
Okay.
Yeah.
So with that being said, it is time for us.
Can I just say something?
Yes.
So my lady heard you talk to me about barbecue. And I used to barbecue a lot. My uncle can attest to that. A lot of people here. And I haven't.
Okay.
Now she's been barbecuing, and now she's going to say to me, "Where's this barbecue you've been talking
Exactly.
about?"
I want to know too. You talked a good game at work, but you know,
I used
didn't see
to
anything.
burn on my grill, but I just I've been writing books.
Oh, excuse me. He was leveling up. Okay. And so now we're going to actually exit this interview.
Yep.
But tell us what's up next for you. Is it a new position? Is it another book? And also, where can people reach out to you at, and also purchase your book if they didn't bring any funds to purchase it today?
Okay. All right. So this is more for the people that are going to view this.
Right.
Because right behind you, for everybody here, you can see where I'm at. You can find my book you can find my book, the only job search book you'll ever need, on my website, www.cljassoc.com/job search. Now, lessons learned, I will never do something that long again. So when I shorten it, I go, you can get it on Amazon. And as much as Amazon takes part of the profit, because of the world that we live in, Amazon is key because I need the reviews, because the reviews are going to make other people buy. So I would prefer, if you out there, just go ahead to Amazon and get the book, and then leave a 5-star review. If you're going to leave anything less than a 5-star, give me a call. And then in terms of what's next for me.
Yes.
What's next for me is what's next for me, I say that I'm in the third quarter of my life preparing for the fourth quarter. Okay, so I love traveling. I want to live someplace where when I wake up every day and have my coffee, I'm seeing a mountain, I'm seeing water, I'm seeing a golf course, or I'm seeing a city, and I'm up high. So what's next is where I'm going to live. And so the things that I do, everything about my streams of income, so my business, building both my real estate business as well as my management consulting business, so that I depend less and less on my salary. That's what's up next for me. It's the continuation of being in a position that I can just make the make more choices,
Okay.
make better choices, because I'll have the finances to do so.
All right. Can we all give Curtis Jenkins a round of applause? I want to thank everybody who's viewing. I can be found on Stop Corporate Shenanigans and on Facebook as well as Instagram. And until next time, have a safe and blessed day.